Hi, in this quick video I will discuss how to create good quality academic research questions. If you are conducting a research study, it is important to have good quality research questions. This helps you to design a good study that explores the items you are interested in understanding. It is important to remember that your ontological and epistemological stances will also influence the types of questions you ask. So how do you design good quality research questions? The most common mistakes students make when designing research questions are asking other questions that are too broad or developing questions that only require a yes or no answer. Remember that your question needs to be specific and clear. It needs to be researchable and you need to be able to write a comprehensive report that can answer that question. Here are some examples to illustrate what I mean. A question that could be asked is, why are people sad? This question is too broad as it touches on several different disciplines or areas. This means that it is not possible for one research project to answer the question effectively. Another question that could be asked is, did the COVID-19 pandemic increase loneliness? This question demands a yes or no answer. While this is a question that could be answered in a well-designed research project, it is difficult to write a comprehensive report to answer the question. A much better approach is to ask a specific question that you can research and get an answer for effectively. Here is an example of just such a question. How did the COVID-19 lockdowns in Melbourne affect parents' trust in teachers' professionalism? This question has been designed using the PICO strategy. PICO stands for Population, Intervention, Comparison and Outcome. This is certainly not the only way to design research questions, but I have found it to be particularly useful in designing questions that are specific, clear, and researchable. In this case, the population will be the parents included in the study. The intervention is the COVID-19 lockdowns in Melbourne. The comparison is the parents' perceptions before and after the lockdown, and the outcome is the level of trust in teachers' professionalism. Remember that the descriptor words you use in your research questions can convey differences in your purpose. As such, be careful with the words you use. For example, exploring the perceptions of a person can be very different from understanding the beliefs of someone. Also think carefully about your project and how it will be designed. This will help you structure your question more effectively. For example, think about where your study will be conducted, who will be involved in this study, and on which areas will you focus. Make sure to be very specific in your research questions. Finally, remember that your research questions should align with the methodology you choose to use. Will your methodology actually help you to get the data that would be necessary to answer the research question you have specified? As a final note, remember that research questions can often change over the course of a research project. For example, you may analyze the findings for your first research question and find something very interesting that you want to explore further. This may lead you to change the second and third research questions to take your project in a different direction. As such, make sure to regularly revisit your research questions to make sure they still fit the purpose of your study.
Created using Powtoon.